We're going to talk a little bit about Hajj. As you know, Hajj is the fifth ordained, the fifth pillar of Islam. And one must do it and do Hajj if he has the wealth to do it, the money to do it, and if a woman has a mahram to take her, a male man like her uncle, father, brother, husband, to take her, then they must go. A lot of people think that if I have the money, I have 100,000, and Hajj just came up this year, I can wait until next year to make Hajj. No, you commit a sin by doing that. You gotta do it. Hajj for you is ordained the year you're able to do it. I'm healthy this year. I didn't make Hajj. I got some money in my account or saved away that I don't need, that I can make Hajj with it. That year I must make Hajj. I can't say, oh, you know what? Next year the weather will probably be better in the Hajj. Or I'll wait 10 more years till Hajj is in summer. Or when Hajj is in summer, I'll wait 10 years until it's in winter. Because Hajj goes around. Now Hajj is in nice weather. The weather now is very nice. You go wait about 5-7 more years from now, it's going to be in the middle of summer. And that's where you see a lot of death over there. So someone will say, I'll wait till summer because I like summer better. Some will say, no, I like winter better. No, you got to do it that same year. Or I don't feel like doing it this year. You have to do it that same year. Are you a kafir or not? Of course you're not a kafir, but you've caused yourself doing sin by doing that. There's 3 types of Hajj. Ifrad, Tamattu, Muqrin. This is good for people who don't go to Hajj. Because a lot of people are thinking, what are the people in Hajj doing these days? You know, we're sitting here and everyone's going, mashallah, from our class, a number that I was really, from our classes, a large number who I really didn't expect are going. So what are they doing when they're in Hajj? And by the way, another issue that a lot of people raise, if someone is in debt, if I'm in debt, I got tuition on me, $5,000. And I got $5,000 in my account. And Hajj is $3,000. Can I go to Hajj or no? Yes?
You get permission from the loaner, I guess. Or if you're paying the amount. According to it, there's no riba if the permission is given by the loaner.
What if there is riba? You can go?
No, I mean, I'm saying is Allah Alam, but I'm saying there's 2 different people, 2 different things I've heard.
The answer to that is if it's a long-term debt, you took from me $5,000, or for tuition $5,000, and you're paying $20 a month, that's all you owe, of course you can. Because the debt is not owed altogether. You could die with debt with you. Like the Prophet ﷺ had some, you know, he had his shield, he had his shield given to a Jewish man because he had taken money, he had borrowed from him. So the Prophet ﷺ died in debt. You could die in debt. But the thing about it is, if that debt is owed on the spot, you either pay him the $5,000 you owe him. You owe him in January 31st, 2003, $5,000, or you go to Hajj with it. You go and pay that man his money. But you're paying $20 a month, or it's not due to 5 more years, then you have leeway in going to Hajj, and you could go to Hajj. We have 3 kinds of Hajj. Ifrad is Hajj alone. You go to Hajj alone. Tamattu is when you go with Hajj and Umrah. A lot of scholars, by the way, believe even Umrah is ordained. Whether it's disputed or not, we'll talk about that in our fiqh classes. But a lot of scholars, and it's a strong opinion, that Umrah is ordained just like Hajj is ordained one time in your life. Muqrin is combining the 2, the Hajj and Umrah, together. Tamattu is having Hajj and Umrah, but separating them. You do a Umrah, then you do a Hajj. Muqrin, you do a combo. It's a combo of a Hajj and a Umrah together. Okay. Actually, I don't want to talk about Muqrin or Ifrad, because 99.99% of the people will do Tamattu, and that's what you should do. That's the best one of the two. The differences among them is very minor. Very, very minor. But we should do Tamattu, because Tamattu you're doing a complete, you're not going there. Most of us are going there once in a lifetime. We're living in America. We're living a continent away from there. You know, you do your own Umrah by itself, and then you do the Hajj by itself. How do you start your Hajj? when you leave here, you're going to go in the airplane. You're either going to go to one of two areas. You're either going to go directly to Mecca. Of course, your airplane is going to land in Jeddah. Or, where are you guys going?
Medina.
For Medina first? Okay. You either go to Mecca or you go to Medina. If you're going to Medina, it's probably a bit easier for you. Why? Because there's certain areas around Mecca. Mecca's over here. That's Mecca. Those lines around Mecca are areas where you should not pass those without putting your ihram on. What's ihram on? When you go from here, you go as a regular traveler. When you enter there, you put the ihram on, meaning the clothing of the Hajj, the intention of the Hajj. The longest distance between these, most of them are probably 100 kilometers or less from Mecca. The longest one is the one in Medina. As soon as you leave the border of Medina, there's a masjid there where you do are you coming from Medina in a car or airplane?
From Medina, you're going to probably take a car.
A car. Okay. You're going to go there, a huge masjid. A huge masjid. They got nice clean showers and everything in there. Really, one of the cleanest masjids I've ever been to, I think, in my life. One of the biggest ones. It's a huge masjid with showers, with everything in there. When you get there, you gotta make your ihram. Let's assume you're not going through Medina. You're going to the airplane. You're going from United States to Mecca directly. Right before you get to Mecca, the airplane. You don't get binoculars and start watching where's the miqat at. You're not going to find that. The airplane pilot will announce it. The miqat is right under us. That means you got to put your ihram on. You can't wear this kind of clothing that are stitched or sewed up on your body. You can't wear it. You got to wear a rida and a izar. A rida is like a long towel. Izar is something you wrap around your down body. No socks, of course. No underwear. No nothing with clothing. Nothing with clothing that are stitched like normal clothing is. All that must be done. You wear your izar, your rida. And when you get to that, I say by airplane, they'll announce it. You're right under. It's right under you. A lot of people are going by airplane. So the pilot will, any airline you go, he'll announce it. We're right near the miqat. Everyone usually go and change, or he'll announce it sometimes half an hour before, so everyone can get ready. And he says, right now we're on top of it. What you do is you say, now it's my intention to make Hajj or to make Umrah. If you're going to Tamattu', what are you doing? What are you doing? Umrah. You're doing Umrah. First you're doing Umrah. So as soon as you get to the miqat, you say, oh Allah, my intention is to make Umrah. Oh Allah, my intention is to make Umrah. This is the only time you ever say the intention out loud. Ever. When you pray, we don't say nawaitu an usalli. My niyyah is to pray. That's the innovation. When you do anything other than Hajj, you don't verbally say the intention. The only time you say it is in Hajj. Why are we strict like that? Because this is ibadah. The Prophet ﷺ only did it in Hajj, we only do it in Hajj. He never did it in prayer, we don't do it in prayer. So in Hajj, we say, Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. Or, Labbaik Allahumma Umrah. You all are going to start in Tamattu' with a Umrah. So, Labbaik Allahumma Umrah. Are you going to make the Hajj for yourself or for someone else? You can make someone for your grandfather, your father who passed away. You can make it, but there's one restriction. What is it?
You have to do it first.
You have to do it on yourself first. I can make one Hajj on my father or grandfather or some relative who passed away. I can do that. However, I must make it on myself. So I say, Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan an nafsi, Labbaik Allahumma Umrah an nafsi. Had it been for someone else, Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan an Umar, Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan an Muhammad, an Salih, or whoever it may be. You pronounce the intention. There's no 2 rak'ahs you pray at the miqat. When you get to the miqat, 99% of the people pray 2 rak'ahs. There's no 2 rak'ah for ihram. There's absolutely no 2 rak'ahs for ihram. Most of the people will pray 2 rak'ahs. The best way to do it is to wait for a prayer. Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. Pray, and then right after the prayer, you leave. There's no 2 rak'ah. A lot of people call there's 2 rak'ah for Sunnat Ihram. That's an innovation. What you do in Ihram, you put the upper clothing and the wrapping around you, and after you pure, of course, better to take a shower. The Prophet ﷺ took a shower in that area. Is to take a shower. Could you put cologne or no? Could you put cologne or no? Could you put cologne or no? all of you guys are alone. No, it's no difference of opinion. The Prophet ﷺ, Aisha radiallahu anha said, I put cologne on the Prophet ﷺ, in fact to the point that it was on his ihram clothing. When you start, after ihram, no more cologne, no more, try your best to stay away from the soap that has, the perfume, the regular soaps that we have. You're going to find over there a lot of the soap that doesn't have this, this alcohol and perfume that we have. But initially, when you put the ihram on, there's no problem with you putting cologne or perfume, or, of course, no women put perfume because that's the danger there. We're talking about men only. There's no problem in doing that.
Can you clarify that you said that you could put?
Yes. Before ihram. Before your intention. After intention, you cannot put any of that.
And deodorant as well.
That's part of it. I said even soap. Even soap that contains the smell that we have, you can't do that.
How about there are going to be people who need to put sunscreen and there's like...
What's that?
Sunscreen so you don't burn your sunblock.
Hey, don't do that. That will invalidate. Don't do that. We're not going to a beach or something. No, you're not allowed to.
Even before the ihram?
Before, yes. Yes, before.
The ihram is still going to be there.
It's okay. If it comes on the ihram before, it's no problem. The only problem is after that, during the Hajj, because you're going to stay in this clothing for several days. You're going to stay in this clothing for several days. What is a woman? We know what a man does. What does a woman wear?
Regular clothing underneath, like something modest, and then she has her...
Any clothing?
No, I mean...
What color?
Well, it doesn't matter the color.
Specific color, right? It doesn't matter.
Any color, anything she wants to wear, as long as she's appropriately covered. If she's appropriately covered, there's no restriction. Some people say you have to wear, like the people from Malaysia, you're going to find thousands of them, just wearing white, plain white, Or some of them, they say black. Anything she wears, as long as she's decently covered. Because you're going to go there, men are going to see women a lot, women are going to see men a lot, so she has to be very well covered. Aisha radiallahu anha said to the point, when the men used to pass by, or even the sawati, the one who used to bring them the water, they used to cover on their faces. Wait. Give us some time because let's get section by section. After you make the niyyah, you get to the miqat, you put your clothing on, you make the niyyah, then after you make the niyyah, you put a restriction upon Allah. Oh Allah, if something happens to me, then free me on that spot where something that happened to me. What is it in Arabic? It's Allahumma mahilli. I'm going to write these, and after I'm done, if anyone needs help with them, I'll help them. Allahumma mahilli haythu habastani. Allahumma mahilli haythu habastani. When you make Hajj, if you don't say that, you got to sacrifice and make Hajj another time no matter what. Let's assume it's your second Hajj. It's your fifth Umrah. And you're on your way there, and we used to see this a lot. When I used to go make Umrah, especially when I was there at a younger age, it was one line going to Mecca and one line coming. It was called the Death Road. Death Road. So, bumper to bumper cars with always a lot of accidents. If you get an accident there, you have to sacrifice, and you must, it becomes a part to compensate for that Umrah. Unless you say that. That is, oh Allah, free me. If something happens to me, free me on the spot. Allahumma mahilli haythu habastani. After that, you start saying, Labbaik Allahumma. Latif, what is it?
I don't know.
And you're going tomorrow, Latif.
I know, but I'm nervous now, and you put me on the spot.
Come on, Latif.
I know it.
Qaisar, help him out.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد ونعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
That's good. Stick to that one. Some people will add or take away stuff from it. Don't do that. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. You continue saying that all the way from wherever you're at until you hit Mecca. The more you say it, the better. The more you say it, the better. Don't try to stop, as much as you can say it. The men in loud voices. Not in groupings, everyone alone. You're in a group of 20, everyone alone. The women in a low tone. Their voice shouldn't be loud. The men in a loud voice. Yes.
In regards to your, you just mentioned about the talbiyah subhanallah. You do it after you put your ihram on, you start doing it from that point, right?
After you do your ihram, yes. Yes.
And you don't stop until you get to...
You don't stop till you get to Mecca. Unless, you don't want to take breaks, especially if you're going by car, it's going to take you 4 hours. 4 hours, so you're going to take breaks, of course, Take it easy on yourself.
Can you repeat that?
Okay, I'll do that after class. All of them are rated there, and I'll do it after class, okay? I'll stay and do them after class. You wear your ihram. How you wear your ihram? Most people are going to... Sisters, if you have questions, I'm sorry, if you ask if any of you are confused, go ahead and ask. Any sisters have questions? We don't give you your opportunity. Okay. You wear your ihram like a regular towel on your shoulders. When you get to Mecca, you change it. You do what is called a tabi'. A tabi' means you take it and you free your right shoulder. Your right shoulder, you take the towel and you wrap it around from your right shoulder, back around, by freeing on top of your right shoulder, there's nothing. A lot of people start their ihram with that way. It's very easy and actually it's very comfortable. Makes your back feel good and then pulls your back a little bit. A lot of people do that. The sunnah to do that is to only do that when you see the Kaaba. As soon as you see the Kaaba, you take it and free your right shoulder. Look how precise the sunnah is. Look how precise the Sahaba. Ibn Umar radiallahu anh said, I did a Hajj like the Prophet ﷺ did it. Every single thing. Even urinated where the Prophet urinated. Even smiled where the Prophet ﷺ smiled. He said, the only one thing I couldn't do is during the Prophet ﷺ time, he went around the Kaaba with his camel. Because the flooring wasn't finished. He said, when I went there, the camels weren't allowed entry by the area where they were there. That's the only thing he couldn't do like the Prophet ﷺ.
What do you mean by free your right shoulder? Like, take it, only wrap it on one side, right?
You take it, you wrap it around one side, you take it from under here, and you wrap it around back here. And it'll come back, comfortably. I'm sorry. The right one is the free one. So you wrap it around, it's only covering this side. I don't have it with me to show you, but it's very easy. You're going to see all the Hajjaj doing it. Had I had a clothing or something, I would have showed you. But free your right shoulder. Nothing on your right shoulder. It's going to come, the towel is going to be like this. It's going to be like this, wrapped around your left shoulder. The next thing, you're going to enter the Kaaba. And there's a dua to say, oh Allah, add more honor to this Kaaba. Allahumma zid hadha al-bayt ta'ziman wa tashrifa. Allah give this, because it's one of the best scenes you're ever going to see in your life. If you have a first kid and you thought that was the best excitement of your life, it's nothing compared to when you first see the Kaaba. It's the best thing. I remember when I was there, I was 7 years old, and we were going to Medina first. And I thought Medina was Mecca. I didn't know what Medina was and what Mecca was. We landed in Medina. I said, where's the black thing at? Where's the black thing? I'm telling my father, where's the black thing at? I couldn't find the black thing. He said, there's the Prophet ﷺ's grave. I said, okay, but where's the black thing? I want to see. And then he took us back to Mecca. And then it was one of the best scenes. I can't forget it. 7 years old, and I cannot forget, that scene. One of the best scenes you will see in your life. You go to the Kaaba. I'm going to draw you a diagram of the Kaaba. Okay, here's the Kaaba. 4 corners. This is the black stone. Why is it called black stone? Why is it black stone? Why isn't it a white stone? But why is it?
From the sins of the people.
Sins. Hadith. It's authentic hadith. That's the first thing we took. Remember, Sa'id, in the first class. First Sirah class we had. It was white. It turned black because of the sins of the people. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah says, in my time I seen a little tiny white dot on it. And now by the time he died he said it was covered up. Now I bet it's pure black. Black and black. A lot of sins because this is the black stone. We start, if you go enter there, you're going to find the black stone, and on the ground where you walk, you're going to find a line, a brown line. That line means that you're on the like you're exactly to the corner of the black Kaaba. That line is insignificant, It's insignificant. I don't know why they did it. It's an innovation to put it. Islam doesn't want you, oh, am I on the right? And go get a compass and see, am I on the right exact thing? No, if you're, you see it, you're far away, you see it, that's more than enough. You have to do one of three things. When you go there, you start your first tawaf. You got to start your first tawaf from the black stone. Don't go back here and start from here. Tell me, wallah, I want to make sure it's right. No, don't do that. That's innovation. That's not right. You go here where you see it's right, where you think it's the beginning. And sometimes when you enter there, you're going to find the masses going this way, going around this way. Don't go and come around this way, one way, and try to kill yourself, That'll be pretty stupid. Some people do that. I want to do that. Go, okay, take it easy, walk around one side, go with the flow of the traffic, and then stop over here, but that doesn't count. The first one doesn't count for you. Start from right here. If you start over here, it doesn't count. You start from right here where the black stone is. When you see the black stone, you go and kiss it. The first thing. You could do that. It's going to be very crowded. Don't kill yourself. It's easy. So you go. If it's not that crowded, you touch it and you kiss your hand. That's the second thing. If that first and second is impossible, you just say Allahu Akbar and you point to it. You have to do that every time you go around the Kaaba. So when you're near it and you're at that angle, you say Allahu Akbar. And the most you should do, I think, because it's going to be very crowded. Hajj is not like Umrah where there's less people. Yes.
You can do that anytime, right? You can even come back when it's less crowded, like at night.
You could kiss it any time, yes. But this you must do. You must do for the tawaf. You say, first thing you do is kiss it. Second thing, if you can't do that, touch it and kiss your hand. Third thing is you just wave to it by hand gesture.
Every time you make tawaf once, you have to do that every
single one. And you say Allahu Akbar.
7 times, right?
Some people, that's why I told you this line is not right. They sit and stop. And they're looking on the floor. When they get to that line, they stop. Allahu Akbar, and they start. No, you don't have to. The hadith doesn't tell you have to be exact like that. And a lot of scholars wrote refutation on why they drew this line. Islam doesn't want you to be, I want to stand right on that angle and do that. You don't have to do that. Okay. You go, this is where you start. You walk around. There's guys there, you pay them, and they start making dua for you. And you start repeating after them. They call them mutawwif over there. Those guys are bums. You don't need those guys over there. You make your own dua. What if you want a child? What if you want a beautiful wife? Or the wife wants a handsome husband or a religious husband? And the guy's saying something else. You're wasting your Hajj and he's making the dua for you. You make your own dua. Any dua you want to do, you do it. Between here and here, what's this rukn called? Al-Rukn al-Yamani. This is called Al-Rukn al-Yamani. These are the only two corners where you touch. This one you kiss, this one you touch. This one you even touch what's under the black stone. Both of it. Black stone is holy, and under the black stone you touch it, and the Prophet ﷺ used to kiss it. This one, only the Prophet ﷺ only touched it. Just as like that, and you just wipe it with your hand. That's all. Does it have barakah in it? No. We do, and we say like Umar bin Khattab said, when he kissed the black stone, he said, Wallahi, I know you're a stone that doesn't help me or harm me. And had it not been for me seeing the Prophet ﷺ do this, I would not have done this. Between these two corners, you say, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً. Kais, are you with us?
Yeah, I memorized these things.
He's going with you guys. You know that? Only one I want you guys to watch over is Latif. Make sure he doesn't. And watch over Qaisar too. Some of the questions he asked me were, I don't know about them.
I have a question in regards to Islam.
Yes.
People, they cover their head like they're like afraid of the suntan or something. So it's not permissible to cover your head. You cannot put the part of the
You cannot put nothing on your head. You cannot cover your head.
Do you have an umbrella?
Yes, you can have an umbrella. Something that's not attached. And yes, you can have a face mask. something that covers your head, like a car, something like that, that's not part of you, on you, that's no problem. You know, the Shia believe that you can, that's why their buses, they cut them, they cut the top of them. Because they believe even if you're in a car, which has a covering on it, your Hajj is invalid. That's why you're going to see a whole bunch of buses there that are convertible. Convertible 60s buses. But that's being radical. That's being extreme. Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, all of them, as long as it's not part of your clothing, then you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now we know what you do over here. The first 3 times you walk around the Kaaba, you do what's called al-ramil. Al-ramil is to run it, however, jog it with close footsteps. Jogging, close footsteps next to each other, and running 3 times around the Kaaba. That's only for men. Only for men. They do that 3 times. The rest 4, you walk it normally. Now don't be going say, I want to do the sunnah and kill people. Just do it if there's room in front of you. If there's no room in front of you, then, or you're going to harm someone, then it's okay not to do it. But it's better not to do it. Why? Because you're going to be harming other Muslims. The next point, you got the Ramil, Latif? Especially you guys, you're young. You got it, Latif?
I don't. It's the third. It's first 3 rounds.
The first 3 rounds around the Kaaba, you do Ramil. Ramil is to have close footsteps next to each other, but jogging it. Jogging it. The next point, you have to have wudu. In Tawaf, you have to have wudu. The Prophet ﷺ said, Tawaf is like Salah. The only difference is you're allowed to talk. Don't be holding conversations in your Tawaf, because that's precious moments. Very precious moments where you should be making dua. Yes.
The message for the Kaaba is Tawaf, right?
Yes. Yes. That's why I didn't say when you walk in the masjid, you pray 2 rak'ah. Head to the Kaaba. Actually, you won't be able to hold yourself. You want to go right next to the Kaaba and do Tawaf. Yes.
The entry to the gate, is it only one gate open, the Salam gate, or you?
Oh, go from any gate you can. Any gate you want to. No. Okay, after you're done with 7, you pray behind Maqam Ibrahim. Actually, it's right here. Maqam Ibrahim. What is Maqam Ibrahim, guys?
Station of Ibrahim.
What is it? Footprints from what? Yes. When Ibrahim used to build the Kaaba and put stone by stone, and his son was helping him, he'd go on a corner and take an angle to look, like engineers do. Is the building straight? And where he used to stand, Allah marked his footsteps, and that's what we call Maqam Ibrahim today. Today it's in a gold cage. It's in a gold cage. If you look inside that cage, you see the footsteps of Ibrahim. After you're done with 7 times, you go behind the cage, this golden cage, and you pray 2 rak'ahs. In the first rak'ah, you read قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. In the second rak'ah, you read قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Do you have to read these 2? No. You read anything you want. This is the sunnah. This is the better. If you don't memorize them, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ and قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Now.
If we look, from engineering perspective, the Maqam Ibrahim should be pretty close to the Kaaba. But if we look practically, it's pretty far.
It was moved. It was moved, and I can't recall now who moved it. But it was moved, and I think we went over in our history class, in our Sirah class. You're right. You're right. And it was moved. But by the way, whose idea was it to pray behind Maqam Ibrahim? The sunnah that you all do, whose idea was it? Guys.
Isn't it among the Khulafa Rashidin?
Who is it? Yeah, who suggested it? Umar. Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar is the one who said hijab. This hijab that we have. Look at all this honor for Umar ibn Khattab. He said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, a lot of people come in and see your woman not appropriately dressed. Why don't you ask them to do hijab?" Allah said the order of hijab in the Quran. The second one is Maqam Ibrahim. Why don't we order them to pray from behind Maqam Ibrahim? Then Allah said, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِنْ مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. Among many other things that the Quran came to aid Umar ibn Khattab. You pray these 2 rak'ahs, you're done in this area, you head and drink Zamzam. You guys want to do the sunnahs right. We don't want to leave nothing out. This is a one in a lifetime thing. You go and drink Zamzam. And Zamzam right now, if you live in this area, It's underground. I'm pretty sure you all see it. You go and drink Zamzam until you can no longer drink, until it's about to come out of your mouth. You know, you drink and fill your mouth. The Prophet ﷺ كان يتضلع. يتضلع means until you feel it coming out of your neck, and you ask Allah anything you want, anything you want, anything, health. If it's something you want in this life, ask Allah and drink. And during the process, and this is one of the few times that the Prophet ﷺ drinks standing. You know, we have a command where the Prophet ﷺ says, drink sitting. And it's better to drink sitting. You should drink sitting. But in this point, because the situation probably was where he had to drink standing by the well, he drank standing. You could drink standing there because they have a lot of fountains where you stand. You know, when I was 7 years old, I drank Zamzam. And my niyyah was to drink Zamzam and memorize the Quran. And I was not Arabic back then. You know, my first language was English, although now it's different. But back then it was English was my first language. Alhamdulillah, that became true. You know, not to me only, to my sisters as well. Same thing. We used to drink. My father said, you know, you have to memorize the Quran. We had a hard time doing it. And, you know, pressure and all that. And our purpose is, you know, you drink Zamzam and ask Allah to memorize the Quran. Alhamdulillah, that happened. There was a woman who went there and she had breast cancer. Algerian woman. I mentioned in a khutbah one time. She had breast cancer and she went to Mecca and they told her you got a few months to die. She went Umrah. And she took the Zamzam and drank and drank. And all she did was drink Zamzam and wash her body and her chest area with it. She went back to where she came from. They said, you got no traces of cancer in you. It's a cure. If you have faith in Allah and you make dua, it's a cure and Allah will give you anything. So that's what you do in Zamzam. After Zamzam, you head to As-Safa and Al-Marwa. As-Safa and Al-Marwa, what is it? What's the historic significance? Up and down the mountains. Okay. Here's Safa. Safa is the one you're closest to the Kaaba. Safa is the one closest to the Kaaba. Marwa is the one over here. Marwa is the one up there. You walk up and down the Safa, every one of them, walking up and down, going one way is one. Going down this way is two. Some people think that going up and down is one. You're going to kill yourself if you do that, trust me. Because it's 14 long walking distances. So you go this way is one. Go back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to end over here. You're going to end over there. So that's the Safa and Marwa. How you start? You go on the mountain of Safa. You go and climb near an upper area where there's a lot of room over there. And you start saying in the verse in the Quran, Inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'airillah. That's in Surah Al-Baqarah, the end of the first juz'ah. For those who are going to Hajj, I have to, I think, write the stuff for them out. Inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'airillah. What you say is Inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'airillah. فمن حج البيت واعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما ومن تطوع خيرا فإن الله شاكر عليم. That is the verse about the Safa and the Marwa. Then you say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Lahu al-mulk wa lahu al-hamd wa huwa ala kulli shayin qadir. La ilaha illallah wahdah. Anjaza abda wahdah. Wa nasara abda. Wa hazama al-ahzaba wahdah. Those who are going to Hajj, I have to write this out for them because I don't ask them or think they'll memorize it. You say the verse in Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, every single time. You get here, you say it. You go over here, you say it. You come back here, you say it. So you're going to end up saying it a total of 7 times. What you say during that, you keep doing dua. You keep doing dua, yes.
So you said you always say it at Marwa.
No. I said you say it every single, at Safa, once. At Marwa, the number 2. Safa, number 3. Marwa, number 4.
14 times.
7 times you're going to say. We don't do it 14 times.
Oh, okay.
We do it 7 times.
What else you say? Allah Akbar 3 times, and then what you say?
It's too long for you. Maybe after the class I'll write it. All these I'm going to inshallah write them down. You say this on the hilltop. Before, there's two hilltops. There's two hilltops. You say it on each hilltop. Every time you get to those hilltops, you say it. Or, if you do it in the second level, you could do it in the second level of the haram. There's a round area where, as soon as you get to that round area, you know that's where you say it. That's like the hilltop of the downstairs.
So you could be making a U-turn and be saying the same thing.
Yes, yes. The U-turn is right on top of the mountain under you. Do you have to be pure when you make tawaf?
No.
No, you don't. Yes. Around the Kaaba, you have to be pure. You have to be on wudu. Yes.
About the Safa and Marwa, they're, what they call it, the two poles they have, you walk past between them?
I'm going to get to that. There's two green areas. Two green lines right here. Between those two green lines, if you're a man, you run them. You sprint them. Unless you're going to harm other people. Sprint them. Literally sprint them. The sunnah is to sprint them and go as fast as you can. Between the two green lines. Not the whole thing. Some people run the whole thing. Don't be doing that. You know, when you come back to the States, you go jogging, inshallah. But over here, you run from here to here. There's two green markings. You sprint it as fast as you can. That's when Hajar, alayhi salam, ran and sprinted. After you're done with the 7, and if there's anyone with an elder, you know, if there's an elder, there's in the middle over here, there's people who will take it, you know, in a cart. They pull them the elders in a cart or a wheelchair, and they'll push them for them. Around the Kaaba, they'll carry them. Even if you're healthy and you want to be carried, it's no problem. You know, so elder people shouldn't feel ashamed, you know, because the Prophet ﷺ rode on a camel around the Kaaba. Now, I don't want you doing that. You guys are healthy. Latif would probably do it for the view. It's a nice view to be on top of everyone and looking down at. Okay. After you're done with that, you're tamattu, you're done with your umrah. That's umrah. This, what we did so far, is umrah. Very simple.
So you end up on Marwa at the end of your umrah.
Yes. You end up there.
Marwa.
Now what you have to do, one of two things. You either shave your hair up completely, or you trim it. You're going to find people here who ask you. Actually, right when you walk out of this door, there's a door from out of the Mecca here. There's a whole bunch of barbershops right there. So they will either shave your hair, or they will trim it. When you trim it, it can't be the trimming. They take, someone got two little scissors, they take a little tiny piece of your hair here and a little piece of hair, and they call that trimming. That's not trimming. Trimming means like your hair right now. That's trimming. My hair, in order for trimming to be, it's got to be like his hair. Is it best, Qaisar, like that or shorter? Meaning a tiny bit is left. It got to take from all portions of the hair. All portion of the hair. You can't take a portion. Some of them are, you know, they're not ignorant. They'll cut over here and they say, oh, we did taqsir. And they'll shave it bald hair. They say, okay, when we do the Hajj, we'll finish it off, the whole thing. That's haram. The Prophet ﷺ deterred from doing that. It's haram to shave a portion of your hair. That's called qaza. To shave portion of your hair and leave portion of your hair. To shave a portion and leave a portion is haram. So you either trim or you shave. Is it better to trim or shave?
Shave.
No. And this one is to trim. Because you got to have something left for the Hajj. You're up a few more days and you're going to be doing Hajj. And you got to shave your hair. So you need something. You know, something on your hair. Don't be taking some of your beard, you know. Yes, Sa'i.
You have to have wudu when you...
Sa'i? No. When you do Sa'i, you don't have to have wudu. Sa'i. It's called Sa'i. No, the cutting is called halq or taqsir. What if it's a woman? Does she shave?
Fingertip, they wrap it and they cut it, right?
A tiny bit, like an ant or a little bit less from every, like she's braided. If she's braided, she has 2 braids or 3 braids. From every braid, take a little bit, like an ant or so, or less than that, you know. A tiny bit from each one. Yes.
Do you have clippers on there, or they use a razor, or what?
Well, they use razor. That razor is halq. The clipper is taqsir. Yeah, they use that. They have everything there. They have everything there. Don't worry about it. Don't take no knives out with you on the airplane, okay? We don't want no nice. They got everything there. You'll find the old.
It's better to trim the hair at the end of the Umrah and then save the shaving for Hajj.
Yes, that's the best. Okay, now you guys do this. That's if someone is coming from Mecca, from Medina right now. You wait till the 8th day of the Hijjah. All this has got to be done before the 8th day. I don't know what day it's going to be, but it's going to be done. Your group are going to take you there before the 8th day. On the 8th day of the Hijjah, the 8th day, this could be done anytime. Could be. Some people I know went yesterday, some the day before, they could have done this. Khalas. Now what they do is enjoy themselves in Mecca, put their clothing back on, sit in their hotel, pray in the haram. Whatever they want to do, it's fine. They got free time. So if you went earlier, you got a lot of time for you. You wait until the 8th day of the Hijjah. The 8th day of the Hijjah, that's when you go out of your house. You're in Mecca. You go out of your house and you say, Nawaitul Hajj an nafsi. The first one is Nawaitul Umrah. Now on the 8th day, you got to start with your Hajj. You do your Hajj. Nawaitul Hajj an nafsi. Wherever you are in Mecca. Like someone, Qais was telling me he's going to be in Aziziyah in Mecca. And that's actually where I was in Mecca. That's you're going to be in Aziziyah. That's 2 feet away from Mina. That's where actually the house of Sheikh Ibn Baz rahmatullah alayhi was. That's the same area. It's a small area right before Mina. So you start over there, you say Nawait al-Hajj an nafsi, and you head to Mina. What's Mina?
So as soon as you leave your house or your apartment?
Anywhere. You say Nawait from wherever you are. The first one, where do you have to say it before? Before Miqat.
Before you enter into
the zone.
Yeah.
The zone. Okay. The zone of Mecca. Okay. So the 8th day, you make niyyah Nawait al-Hajj an nafsi. And you go after sunrise. As soon as after you pray Fajr and the sun starts rising, you head toward Mina. That's the sunnah. You could wait a little bit and do it, but the sunnah is right after sunrise, you head towards Mina. Mina is a huge area. Let me draw Mecca here. Aziziyah, where most of you are going to be. Mecca, Aziziyah, Muna, Muzdalifah, Arafat. So you probably be in this area. You walk to Mina. Mina is going to be a whole bunch of tents. Your group are going to provide you with tents. So don't worry about it. You have some shelter there. You stay in Mecca, in Mina, the whole day, the whole 8th day. You pray the Zuhr, you pray the Asr, you pray the Maghrib, you pray the Isha. Every single prayer on its time, you don't do Jam'ah. But you pray it half. The Dhuhr, you pray 2 rak'ah. The Asr, 2 rak'ah. The Maghrib, 3 rak'ah. The Isha, 2 rak'ah. But you don't do like regular. Yes, sister.
This is not related, radical question. So if you weren't going, when does the 9 days actually start?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet because we have to wait for them to declare it in the Arabian Peninsula. Today, if I'm not mistaken, is the 28th. 28th of Dhul Qa'dah. 28th of Dhul Qa'dah. Of Dhul Qa'dah, right? Okay, 28th of Dhul Qa'dah. So it could be, it's not going to be tomorrow, the day after, or the day after that. You got to wait and maybe inshallah on our site, if you're not on our site, join our mailing list. And as soon as they announce it in Saudi, we'll announce it on our site.
And also, do you have to fast the whole 9 days straight to get full credit, or can you do?
That's the best thing to do, is to fast the whole thing. To fast the whole thing is the best thing. However, the main day to fast is the day of Arafah, which is the 9th day. The Prophet ﷺ said if you fast that day, it'll be an erasure of sins for a year before and erasure of sins for a year after. However, all the 9 days are special days that we should take advantage of. Fasting, worshipping, praying, reading Quran and dhikr.
And also, if you have any other days that you're supposed to make up, can you make 2 niyahs to do it, or you just have to do the ones that you're supposed to do first and then...
Like what? Like
days that you promise Allah you're going to fast.
no, you should have a promise.
Makeup days.
Not makeup days, days that you got something and you said, okay.
It depends on what it is. I mean, if it's if you gave a commitment to Allah for something and you chose these days to do it, you probably get more ajr. That's no problem with that. But no, actually it's only one niyyah for the purpose you made it for, like the commitment you made it for, and you get more ajr for doing it in this time. But it's better for you if you want full ajr to do it completely separate. That one totally separate and this one separate. There's no two niyyah for one thing. Anyone? Any more? Okay. It's too late. Let us get going with yes.
So the specific reward is for just the 9th day, or for fasting?
The specific day of 1 year before and 1 year after forgiveness is only for the 9th day. But the Prophet ﷺ put a lot of significance on these 10 days. يعني والفجر وليال عشر. Allah gave an oath by them. When Allah gives an oath by something, it's very important. The 10 days. By the 10 days, and those are the first 10 days of the Hijjah. Okay, let us finish real quick. Come on.
You didn't tell us on the 8th of the Hijjah, do we do ihram for Hajj?
Yes. Yes, I said the ihram. When I said,
so it's just like, it doesn't matter. You're there and you just do the ihram.
You take your street clothes off. Of course, if you take a bath like you did before, you put your ihram on and you head to Mina. You head to Mina. Mina, you don't do nothing. You sit there and you pray to Allah. You sit in your tent and you pray and make dua, read Quran, do ibadah, lot of dua, istighfar. And you pray the Dhuhr, the Asr, the Maghrib, the Isha. All 4 of these prayers there. You spend the night there. The morning of the 9th day is, what is it? The 9th day is Arafah. After Fajr, you head from Mina to Arafat. Yeah, you skip Muzdalifah. Well, you gotta go through Muzdalifah, but you skip it. And by the way, when you go and walk, if you guys are gonna walk, actually, I don't think they don't let people from America walk. They take them in cars and look. It's not that far. It's approximately. I used to walk from Mina to Mecca. Maybe take me 20 minutes or less. Especially now they have tunnels. I remember when the last Hajj I did, I walked 3 times from Mina to Mecca in 1 day. It's very easy. They have the roads paved. They have a tunnel that goes right in the middle of Mecca. Instead of having gone around the mountain, you go right in the middle of the mountain. The 9th day, you head to Arafat. This is the core of your Hajj. This is it. This is the day when Allah brags to the angels. This is the day that the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Hajj Arafah. Hajj is Arafah. Why did he say that? Hajj is a lot of things. We've been talking about Hajj for half an hour now. But Hajj is Arafah, means this is the core. This is the gist of it. You miss this day, you don't got no Hajj. Other things you miss, you can compensate one way. You miss this day, you don't have it. This is the day where Allah says, the angels, look at my worshippers. They come to me. Some of them are dirty, because you're sweating. You got dirt on you. They come from all walks and norms of life. You are my witnesses that I forgive them. You are my witnesses that they've been forgiven. So this is the day you go to Arafat, over here, and you spend in Arafat the entire day until Maghrib. You cannot leave before Maghrib. You leave before Maghrib, you'll invalidate your Hajj. There's a masjid in Arafat, Namira. Let me tell you, I think they'll put you in Arafat. This day you have to be in Arafat. In Arafat, there's a big masjid here. 1/4 of it is outside the boundaries of Arafat. When I tell you these areas here, don't go to Mina, and this is the border of Mina, and then they put you over here. Don't be stupid. You ruin your Hajj like that. A lot of people, this happens to them. I've seen it a lot happen. The guys who take you, they think, oh, what the heck, these guys don't know how to read the signs or they don't know the area. No, you got to be aware of this. You have to know, aware of this. You're not excused for ignorance. Muna is a big area. Now, if you tell me Muna is jam-packed, there's no room for you, I tell you, okay, we follow along over here. But Muna is not jam-packed. You go in Mina and you better make sure you're in the boundaries of Mina. There's signs, there's huge signs. Pay attention to them. With all the tents and all the people walking, you probably wouldn't pay attention. But you got to look at them. It'll tell you this side would be Mina. You pass it on the other side, that's not Mina. The same, you got to watch out for Arafat. Arafat has in it Jabal al-Rahmah, the mountain of Rahmah. It has also in it a masjid, Masjid Namira. The Prophet ﷺ went in this area. Look how delicate the Hajj is. In this area, he prayed the Dhuhr and the Asr. After he prayed the Dhuhr and the Asr, in this area, out of Arafat, he went in Arafat. This is Sunnah only. So if you are going Arafat, you pray the Dhuhr and the Asr and Maghrib Isha, no problem. But if you do want to do the Sunnah, and you pray the Dhuhr and the Asr right before over here, you better make sure you get inside Arafat from after Asr until Maghrib. Yes.
Do you pray that in
Yes. In Arafat, yes you do. Dhuhr and Asr together, Maghrib and Isha together as well. But make sure, you got to make sure. You lose it, you lose your Hajj. You make sure in Arafat. Do you have to go on top of the mountain? The mountain has absolutely no significance to it at all. People go there and get killed on top of that mountain, and they cross themselves on top of that mountain. It has no significance at all. However, if you want the Sunnah, you go where the mountain is. You see the mountain in front of you, and the Qibla is that way. Because the mountain, you could get it from a lot of angles. The best way is that the mountain and the Qibla are in front of you. And you make dua in that direction. That's how the Prophet ﷺ did that. You stay in Arafat the whole day, making dua. That's the day you make the dua. That's the day that your dua that you make, inshallah, is going to be answered. Go ahead, Latif. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah. Can you go back to that point when you said you're going to make your Dhuhr and Asr in the masjid outside of Arafat, and then go in there right after Asr time? Go into Arafat after Asr time?
You go to Arafat. Arafat has a huge masjid. Masjid Namira it's called. The front part of it, actually you're going to see signs. It'll tell you this is Namira, this is outside Arafat, and tell you Arafat is over here. So what I used to do, because it had air conditioning, I used to go over there, pray with Dhuhr and Asr, and take a few steps back to the roads behind it, and you're in Arafat. The masjid, the way they built it, portion of it is in Namira, and portion of it is in Arafat. If you stay in this area, for the whole day, which some people do, you don't got a Hajj. You got to make another Hajj. You pray the Dhuhr and the Asr here, and then you walk back. If you want to stay in the masjid, you walk back. The signs are going to tell you, this is Arafat, this is not Arafat. So you pray over here. What happens, if you want, you leave the masjid, which is probably better, especially now it's not that hot. In this whole area over here, all this area, you stand anywhere you want, anywhere your tent is, anywhere your area is. Just make sure you're in Arafat. Ask the officers there. The officers are very helpful, and they're very much tell you. And they teach them the geographic location. They'll tell you exactly. The police officers there, this is Arafat and this is not Arafat. Okay. After Maghrib, this is one of the dua, or we'll get to that inshallah. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahu al-mulku wa lahu al-hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. The main dua for Arafat. That's the main dua for Arafat. After you do Arafat, Maghrib time, as soon as it's Maghrib time, you depart from Arafat to Muzdalifah, the area we skipped here. And this area is in the Quran. Allah said in the Quran, وَاذْكُرُ اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ. Remember Allah عند المشعر الحرام. This is the area between Arafat and Muzdalifah. You don't pray the Maghrib in Arafat. It's time to pray the Maghrib. Don't pray the Maghrib in Arafat. Are you with us, guys? You sure? What's the problem? Oh, okay. I thought I lost you. I don't want no one to be lost, especially the ones going to Hajj. You go from Arafat to Muzdalifah. You make dhikr in Muzdalifah. It's Maghrib time. You don't pray the Maghrib in Arafat. Look at the Sunnah. As soon as it's Maghrib, you don't go before. If you go a little bit tiny before Maghrib, you invalidated your Hajj. You wait till you're sure, 100%, it's Maghrib, then you leave. If they want, if you're in a group, and they decide to leave 2 minutes before Maghrib, don't go with them. Don't go with them. Rebel against them better than having to come back and do another Hajj again. Because some of them say, because look, this is a small area. You got 2 or 3 million people over here. I remember, wallahi, the first time I did Hajj, me and my mother and my sisters were almost going to get killed right here. Because everyone is in a line, and they're waiting for the Maghrib to go all in one time. And when they go all, you got 3 million people all in one time going, and the people were going to crush us. Until some people, surrounded us and helped us out to move to the side. So you got 3 million people leaving in one time. Some wise people, the ones who are there to make the money, say, hey, let's go a few minutes before we're in Muzdalifah and there's no one there. And it's true, but you invalidated your Hajj. Go there when everyone lives there, and you're probably going to have a hard time finding a spot in Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah, you're not going to find no tents. It's the area between Arafat and Muna. When you get to Muzdalifah, before you rest, you pray the Maghrib and the Isha. And then you make dhikr and dua, and you start collecting your stones for the shaitan, the stone and the shaitan. How big are they? About this big. Not that big. Come on. That's too big. About that big. Just about that big. Do they have to be from Muzdalifah, the stones?
Yes.
No.
No?
No. Anywhere. Yeah, some people get depressed. They take, because you gotta get, for the first day you need 7. The second day you need 21. The next day you need 21, and you have the choice of staying the third day. 21 more stones. So you need 40, 20, 40, 47, 48, 49. You need 49 stones. Sometimes people, they lose a couple, and I see them, they get depressed. Oh man, I gotta walk all the way back to Muzdalifah. No, wherever you're at, as long as they're not, don't reuse them. You go over there where there's going to be plenty. Don't go and pick out of those and say, oh, I got a whole bunch over there. Go to Mina. Go to Mina and pick out from Mina. Okay. No, you have the choice. These, I was saying, the first day you do 7. The next day you do 21. The next day you do 21. You have the option of leaving that day, or you have to stay the next day. Then it adds to what? With that? 90, 20, 40, 60, 70. Okay. After Muzdalifah, you pray the Maghrib, the Isha, you spend the night there, you collect the stones with you, and you head from Muzdalifah back where you came from. This is your stationary, Mina. You head back to Mina. When you head back to Mina, the first thing you do is you stone the devil. Yes.
I was going to ask you, SubhanAllah, did we have the opportunity to go back to Muzdalifah to get stones speaking 5?
No, don't do that. That's taking the Hajj out of context. Don't do that. You're putting yourself through things that you don't need to. Go anywhere out of Muna. There's the area where you stone. Go to the side there. There's a desert. Pick out the stones. That's all.
So you can pick up any stones from there.
Anywhere. Okay. So you're in Muzdalifah now. You go back to Mina. The first thing you do is you stone the devils. The devils, we got 3 areas where Ibrahim alayhi salam stoned the devils. 1, 2, 3. This is Mecca here. This is Arafat here. Okay, now wise guys going to Hajj. You got 3 over here. We'll only stone 1 the first day. Which one? Okay, which one of these is it?
They're closer to Mecca.
Okay, this one right here. That's good, mashallah. You stone this one only. Look how detailed the Hajj. We got 3. Don't go around stoning all 3 of them. You go over here and you stone only this one. You go there and you go and walk near the area you stone, and you take it and make sure, when I used to go, and when my father used to go, they used to stone us, because if you go up in the front, you're going to get your head all knocked out with stones from people behind. People over there, throwing stones from distances. Try to go as close as you can, and you throw it. Okay, there's a pole in the middle. Do you throw it in the pond or at the pole? Where's the devil?
So long it goes in, throw it at the pole you aim at, so long
if I throw it at the pole and it bounces back. Seriously, you're going to find this. You're going to be asking Chef. And if you have any questions, there's tents over there for Hayat al-Amr. Make sure the scholarly tents, not bums, as given fatwas. There's tents, especially for Riyas al-Amma. You go there, they have all kind of languages that you want. If you have something, you go and ask them. When you go there, you can't, there's a pole, people think that's the devil. You're not stoning even the devil. There's no devil there. It's a ritual that we're doing to remember that which Ibrahim alayhi salam did. There's a pole in the middle. If you throw that pole and it bounces back, then you didn't do it right. You have to put it in the pond. If you put it in that little pond there's a pond. If it goes there, then it falls out, because sometimes, by the 3rd day, it's full of stones. If it, rolls down, then that's okay. But you gotta make sure it goes in the pond. Your aim is it goes in the pond. And you should advance as much as you can. If you have elderly, guys, you take in your mother, and others who are taking their family, inshallah, you go and come back in safety. If she's older or weak young boy, you can give the right, your mother tell you, guys, you go and do this for me. And she stays at home and you do it. First of all, you go there, you throw Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, 7 times, and then you start for your moms. This is the first day. After you're done doing that, you go and you sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice. 7 people can go on a camel or a cow, or 1 person per sheep or goat, or there's some tickets they buy there where they send it out of the country. I really don't know about that, but the scholars there gave a fatwa that that's permissible. I would really personally think that you should sacrifice there yourself. If you can, that's better. Yes.
2 questions. In regards to the sacrifice, the brother said that in Mina it is very difficult to do it. So you can go to Mecca and do it. I can make that possible. Maybe you guys can go and do it. It takes a whole day to get in line to do it.
Yes, you could do it in
Mecca.
Mecca.
Is permissible?
Yes.
Second question, in regards to after you said sacrifice, can you do Hajj or your shooting the head, either one ahead of each other?
I'll tell you them. Let me get to that. The first thing we said, you stone. The second thing, you cut your hair if you want. Now you shave it. Now it's time to shave it.
So before you sacrifice or after or what?
I'm going to tell you the order later on. First thing, stone. Second thing, you trim. I'm sorry, you could trim, but now we said it's best to shave, like Adel. More than Adel by using the razor. Okay, then you sacrifice. Third one, you sacrifice. The fourth one, you got to do tawaf. This is probably the hardest day that you'll be doing things. First one, what is it, guys?
Sacrifice.
No.
Stone.
Second one, shave or trim the head.
You slaughter first or shave first?
Third one, slaughter. Fourth one, tawaf. Okay, we got these 4 things you gotta do on this day. What day is this now?
This is still 9th day.
The 9th. You wasted your 9th day over there in Arafat, buddy. This is the 10th day. This is the Eid. Remember? Look at Latif. Look at. Focus with me.
After you pray Maghrib and Isha at Mina, or no, after you pray Maghrib and Isha at Mina,
and you spend the night there?
Spend the night. Okay, next day.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna stone the devil the same night.
you go here. You spend the Maghrib and the Isha. You spend the night there, and the morning after that, after Fajr, you make a long du'a. The Prophet made a long du'a. Then you walk directly, stone this devil, trimmed his hair or shaved it, slaughtered, and made tawaf. This order is the order the Prophet ﷺ did it in. And he was asked. Some people came to him, they said, "O Prophet of Allah, we did tawaf before we shaved." He said, "It's okay." He said, someone came to him and said, "We slaughtered before we shaved." He said, "It's okay." And then to the end point of it, the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba said, he never was asked that day about doing something before something except said, "That's okay." So this is the order the Prophet ﷺ did it. Any order you do it is fine. Any order you do it is fine. Because sometimes you say, "Let me stone, it's better. Let me go sacrifice, it's easier for me." Whatever order that suits you is better. These are the 4 things you do the 10th day. You with us?
Yeah. Question in regards.
Right. You with us? You're going to be the sheikh of your hamda.
Your Muzdalifah, the brother was saying, subhanAllah, the crowd gets kind of like, it's really crazy. So he said that for us to leave at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, you could do that. If he wants you to do that, that's fine. But I would say you stay there better.
Can you stay behind without the group?
If you know where they're at in Mina, I would stay behind. Yeah, if you know the area, and you know how to get back there, know what group it is. Because if you ask the soldiers that help you, I would say the guards there. The only time scholars made an exception, you leave at the end, the midnight, is if you have kids, if someone is ill, if there's a problem, then you can leave like that. Okay, this is the 10th day. The 11th day, By the way, I'll tell you some secret. Stoning on the 10th day is going to be finding this so crowded. Where? What time?
About the Fajr, right?
A little bit after, about an hour, 2-3 hours after Fajr, it's going to be very crowded. If you wait till a little bit after, before Dhuhr, you're not going to find no one there. If you go there, why? Because all of them are coming from here, they're heading here. Everyone is going there. So you got a problem there. So if you're wise, and especially if you wait a little bit before Dhuhr, then you're going to find that it's nearly empty. On the 11th day, when do we stone?
You stone starting with the smallest one.
When?
Oh, when?
When?
We have to stone afternoon.
After Dhuhr.
After Dhuhr or afternoon?
After Dhuhr. After Dhuhr. You read the book, it means after Dhuhr.
The book is so confusing.
Okay. After Dhuhr, the 11th day, listen, the 11th day, all you do is one thing. Stone and that's it. And go sleep all day. Well, I would say make dua.
The beef is looking for food all the time, I'm sure.
11th day, all you do is stone. All you do is stone the 11th day. Listen, all you do the 11th day is stone. You stone, which one of these?
The small one, the
Which one?
All
3 of them.
Right, so starting with the
You
small
start right here. You start right here, then you go to this one, then you go. And listen to how the sunnah is to stone over here. You start over here, you stone 7 times, then you stand right here. If there's room, this is crowded. This is a bridge. This is a bridge, it goes, it's near. I've seen tens of people in my life die. They're dead. Wallahi, I can't even count the number of people I've seen. The last time I went to Hajj, I must have seen over 100 people dead there. Elders, because this area becomes so crowded, and you get ignorant people coming from this way. You can't start here. So they come over here in masses, and they're going like this, and there's people in masses coming here. And there you see death. If you're not young and healthy, you're going to see death. You get real death. But now it's more organized. Now they won't let no one enter from here. They let them, but it's still crowded. So you come in from here. This is Mina. This is Mecca. You start from here. You stone over here 7 times. You stand over here. You make dua. Long dua. The Prophet ﷺ stood for a very long time making dua. Then you stone this one. Then you make dua right here. You face the Kaaba and you make dua. And then everyone 7 times. Everyone 7 times. That's why we need 21 for number 2. 7 times, 7 times, 7 times. After you stone this one, there's no dua. You keep on going. The 12th day, you stone over here, and then over here. Over here. Then you make dua. Over here, you make dua, and you stone. And this is your 2nd day of full. This is the 12th day.
12th day, where do you start?
Same way. The only difference is the 11th day, the 10th day, you only do this one. The 11th day, you do all 3. 1, 2, 3. 12th day, 1, 2, 3. If you leave that day, then that's it. You have the choice of leaving the 12th, or you have the choice of staying to the 13th. In the Quran it says, فَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ. You choose to leave on the 12th, you leave. You can't spend the night there till Maghrib and say, I'll leave now. You have to leave before sundown. So you stone these on the 12th, then you head to Mecca. You head to Mecca, and what do you do? Tawaf al-Wada. Or, if you stay there till Maghrib, you must stay till the 13th day. If you stay there till Maghrib, you have to stay till the 13th day. If you leave there before Maghrib, you can go to Mecca and stay in Mecca. Can you stay in Mecca? How long? I want to stay a week in Mecca. Why not?
After you're done with the Tawaf al-Wada?
Can I stay in Mecca?
She says no.
Yes, you can stay in Mecca. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The only thing is, I leave Mina and I stay in Mecca. I want to enjoy myself another week. Maybe your group allow you to stay a week. You stay in Mecca a week. However, you must finish your pillar by Tawaf al-Wada. The last thing you do is a goodbye, farewell Tawaf around the Kaaba. You do a goodbye, farewell Tawaf around the Kaaba, and after that you can't stay. You can't do Tawaf al-Wada and say, stay another couple days. I want to finish off early. No, you do Tawaf al-Wada, and that's the last thing you do. That's the last thing you do. Yeah, but that you could stay in Mecca as long as you want.
After you do the Wada, you can stay still?
After Tawaf al-Wada, if you stay, you got to do another one.
Oh, another
That's got to be the last. If he tells you, be in the bus, 9 o'clock. You do tawaf al-wada, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The last thing you do, and you leave immediately. You don't stay there and you say, I'll pray a couple more days. Yes.
We go back to the 12th day. When we stone 7/7, is there an order for dua? Is it the same as 11th day?
Same day, exactly. 11 and 12 and 13, if you stay, are identical, the same. All you do is make dua and ask Allah for forgiveness. Yes.
Some technical questions. In regards to the salah, you said.
And that's your Hajj, by the way.
Okay. In regards to your salah, do we make we can make witr? Do we make witr like regular witr or Isha? Do we make sunnah of the salah? Do we need to make sunnah or we must have?
No, the Prophet ﷺ did not make sunnah. In the qasr, no sunnah.
What about witr?
Yes, witr, yes. Witr is exception. You don't have to, but you should. Yes.
And another question I have in regards to when you fly out of here, like for example, technically, so like tomorrow the flight leaves, so we have Maghrib and Isha. So I'm making intention of traveling from my home, so when I get to the airport I can pray my.
In airport here?
Yeah.
I think you should wait to leave because the airport is pretty close.
So
wait to leave.
The plane takes off, then pray Maghrib and
Yes.
Isha 2 and 2.
Yes.
And then after
2 and 3. I'm 3 and 2. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
When you get to, for example, when the flight takes off, so that time in Amsterdam or Frankfurt is going to be ahead of us, the Fajr. The brothers want me to leave the window open and look outside. The sun is there or not?
I would ask the pilots. They would know. They usually know, and they know what you're talking about. What you do is calculate. You left here, Maghrib and Isha. After maybe Maghrib and Isha is 8 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10, 12 more hours, Fajr. That's how you calculate it. You know what I'm saying?
You're already there in that time.
If you're there, if you're in the airplane, let's assume you're in the airplane for 10, 12 or more hours. You pray the Maghrib and the Isha.
Right.
You don't know, you're in the sky. You don't know, is it Maghrib, Isha, Fajr, whatever? You add another,
All the time from here.
the timing, the general timing. When you get to a country, you follow that country itself. Okay, let me tell you some things. First of all, the Hajjaj got questions. Are we going to call you guys Hajjaj when you come back?
We're going to go to your house.
Huh?
You're going to teach us the dua we're going to use, okay?
We're going to call you guys Hajjaj when you come back?
Whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. As soon as it's inshallah.
Look at it, dirty,
It doesn't matter to me what you call me.
It shouldn't call people Hajjaj because that's not an appropriate term. Why don't you guys call me Al-Musalli Ahmed? I prefer that name. Or Muzakki Ahmed.
What about Harami Ahmed?
Okay. Okay, listen to some of the mistakes, popular mistakes done in Hajj, so you won't fall in them. Listen to this. The first one is you don't do ihram. Some people don't do ihram on the area you're supposed to. Like some, they're in the airplane and they say do ihram now. They say no, we'll wait until we land and then we'll do ihram. Your Hajj is not appropriate like that. When you got those boundaries that we talked about outside the zone, you have to make ihram from outside. Some of them say, we're in the airplane, I don't want to go in the bathroom and get dressed. No. They tell you this is the area, you got to get up and put your ihram clothes on, make your niyyah and intention, and do your ihram.
Can you put it on before or no?
Yeah, you can put it on before. You can put it on before, but it's sunnah to do it right near the spot. But when you put it on before, you don't make your intention till you get there. You could put it on, you leave the house an hour early, or 2 hours, or 5 hours early. You put your clothes on, the ihram clothes, but you don't make your intention until you get to that area. You have to wait to that area to make your intention. Okay, a lot of people don't do the ramil. What's the ramil? What did we say the ramil is? Running. Okay. A lot of people rush and push other people to get to the black stone. That's doing more harm than good. You shouldn't do that. We said you kiss it if you can, if it's not going to cause other people harm. Women should stay away from harassing men, and getting mingling with them and pushing and shoving with them. It's better for them to touch it if they can from a distance, if it's not going to mean mingle, or just to point at it rather than go and mingle with the men over there. Is the black stone in itself helpful in itself?
No.
It's not up. It's like Omar said. What is it?
You don't benefit and then you harm. The Prophet's tradition, he gives his life.
Okay. The four areas of the Kaaba. This is the Kaaba, the 4 areas. Which are the only ones we touch?
The Rukn al-Yamani and the Hajj al-Aswad.
Rukn al-Yamani and Hajar al-Aswad. Over here. Just these 2. Muawiyah radiallahu anh and Muawiyah and Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhum were walking around the Kaaba. Look how precise it is. They were walking around the Kaaba and Muawiyah kept grabbing every corner radiallahu anhu. And Ibn Abbas would only touch these 2. Touch them, and that's the only 2 touch. So he said, they talked to each other. They told them, Ibn Abbas said, why are you touching all 4 corners? He said, all the Kaaba, all 4 corners shouldn't be abandoned. Meaning we should touch all of them. He said, but the Prophet ﷺ only did these 2. He said, in the Prophet ﷺ is a true example. So Muawiyah radiallahu anh said, you're right. I was mistaken. He admitted his fault and he was right. So you don't go to the Kaaba and you start wiping yourself all over it. The only thing you do in addition to that is the golden door. You see the golden door? That's called al-multazam. You go there, the Prophet ﷺ said, you stick your chest on the area. You stick your chest on the area and you ask Allah anything you want in that area. That's one of the best places to make dua. Anytime. During, after tawaf, yeah, if you get through to the people, of course you're going to do that. Yeah, if you get through the crowd, yes.
You have to touch them from money every time you go around?
You should. It's sunnah.
What about the other people who can't do it?
Well, if you can't, that's no problem. We're talking about the sunnah.
You have to wave to it?
No. A Rukn al-Yamani, you don't wave to it. Don't wave to it. If you miss out on touching it, you only touch it. There's no waving. The only waving is for the black stone. Yes.
Every time.
Every single time.
So between what is it, the Yamani and the black stone, you say Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirah. Then you say that dua all the time, every single time.
Every single time when you get here, till you get here. That's the only thing you say in this area right here. That's a sunnah. Okay. Some people, like I told you, they bring a guy, they pay him, and they're probably going to do this to your group. And he says, Rabbana. And the people, Rabbana, Atina. And the people say, Atina. Like I said, you don't need that. First of all, you have dua that man is not going to know that you need. You got personal things. You got things for the ummah that this guy's not going to do. So you shouldn't do that. Number 2, it's harassing people. You know, the Prophet ﷺ seen someone making dua out loud. He told one of them, lower your voices because everyone wants to make dua. And you're going to see it. They are yelling and screaming out dua. They will mess you up. Okay, listen up. Listen, let me finish these. Behind the maqam over here. This is the maqam right here. The maqam. You pray behind it. You should pray behind it 2 rak'ahs. If it's crowded, don't go killing people to do that. You should pray right here. Right here, right here. If you cannot get to that area, then anywhere in the haram is fine. The sunnah is to pray behind it. And the sunnah is, a lot of people go there and they enjoy themselves and they start praying and praying. Pray 2 and get out of there. Give someone else a chance to pray over there. If it's too crowded, anywhere in the haram is sufficient. Okay, the other main one I want to re-emphasize, don't leave the Arafat before Maghrib. Don't leave Arafat before Maghrib, a minute before Maghrib if you know it. And one of the unique things about the stoning is you pick a stone like the one I drew over here, a little tiny one. Little tiny stone. You're going to find some people there with shoes and with big stones like this. You know, and you son of a this and that, you did. One time I was there and they said, you son of this and that, you made my daughter get divorced and it's all your fault. She's talking to the devil. She's talking to the devil. And like I said, there's no devil there. It's only we hold the significance of Ibrahim alayhi salam and what he did and hold that memory. Last thing and final thing, some people leave the tawaf after they do tawaf al-wada. They leave with their chest to the Kaaba. They think it's a respectable thing. You know, the Kaaba's there and they walk like, you're going to see this. They walk like that. That's not respect, that's an innovation. When you're done, walk and turn your back and just go out of the door. There's no problem with that. That's not disrespecting. They did that to the Prophet ﷺ. It's not disrespect. People think now it's disrespect, but it's not disrespect. We don't innovate in that. And that's what we have about Hajj. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi sallam.